pretty soon I'm expecting a letter from the government saying, these are the hours I'm allowed to wipe my ass. It's getting to that point. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Varian, do you have anything to say? Anything to say, Varian? Hey? What? What was that? You my good boy? Hello people, it's Mark here. I thought I'd give you another update in regards to Boulevard Motors, Auckland Transport and Auckland Council. Yes, we've got all sorts of players here today, but first I'd like to start off with, as you know, this has been ongoing between sort of John complaining about Boulevard Motors using his driveway to exit onto Green Lane East, driving out of their illegal exit on Green Lane East where they have poles removed, endangering public safety, driving along the footpath and using someone else's pathway onto Green Lane East, as opposed to using their only, not their rear, their only legal entrance and exit from that property or from that lot, which is at the rear, where they've now, with the update I've shown you on the 28th of November, where they've now just installed a gate wide enough to fit about a fucking Mini, and that's it. So I doubt very much they'll be able to get all of their cars through that gateway. But never mind, I might do some more sort of investigation on that later. More to come on that. But first, John has been complaining, John from Central Car Motors or Cornwall Motors, John has been putting up with these issues for now almost 2 years. He's brought it to the council's attention to the point where Sally Woods turned around and says, I don't even want to hear from you anymore. Cease and desist letters to John because they got sick of him complaining. He got so frustrated in June 2024 that he actually went round and exchanged words. And let's just say there are still allegations before the court. Let's just bear that in mind. Because of Auckland Traffic's inaction trying to fix the problems and the absolutely perfectly viable issues that John has brought up to them, and them sticking their head in the sand, passing the buck to the police, not enacting on the fact that the guy is using an illegal exit from that thing on Green Lane East, having those poles removed, so that whether they get a gate at the fence changed into a gate at the back entrance, they can still take the pole out, they can still drive on the sidewalk, which Auckland Traffic think, oh no, of course they won't do that now they've got a gate. Are you joking me? They were even talking about Armstrong's being happy to move their vehicles out of his driveway when he needs to move his cars. How about it's an actual legal driveway and they shouldn't be fucking blocking it? For Dean Hunter to go and ask Armstrong, oh, excuse me, could you please move your vans? How fucking ridiculous is it? Anyway, the 3 videos that I've released so far, I just want to give you a little bit of context on that. The first video that I released on November 3rd this year was the one where I went round after, again, going back. Well, it's not the first time I've gone there on the 31st of October. I went round and I literally caught Dean Hunter's son, after trying to ask me if I wanted to buy a car, then pull out through that illegal exit, committing an offence. Section 2.13 of the Land Transport Road Users Rules 2004. Not that the council can even get their year right on the legislation they quote, but that's what has been continually happening for over 2 years. And John has been trying to get them to fix it. Instead, they pass the buck. oh, it's a moving vehicle offence, so it's the police's jurisdiction, even though the council knows damn well that they have jurisdiction over that gateway and that illegal gateway onto Green Lane East not being there. And they have the power under 353C of the Local Government Act or whatever it is. I honestly don't remember, nor give a fuck at this stage. But they have the power to seek from the court an order to make the landlord ensure that that's a permanent fence. So they don't have the ability to take a fucking pole out and endanger public safety. That's what it boils down to. Not about pacifying John by putting a fence, a gateway where a fence was landlocking the property and saying, oh, it's all good now. Now you're going to see why I'm bringing this up, but moving on. So November 3rd was the first video that I released of the son committing an offence on the 1st of October. Then on the 1st of December, about a month later, I'd gone back there on the 28th of November and done a little update video because John had said, holy fuck, something's actually happening. And they started putting a fence or a gateway in that pathetic fucking gateway in that fence at the back end. That was to pacify Auckland Council, which seems to have worked. I mean, these people getting paid thousands of fucking dollars from the taxpayers, and we're talking probably 6 different people between Auckland Transport and Auckland Council have been communicating in regards to this matter. And don't worry, I will let you know who they all are. They've been bouncing fucking emails left, right and centre since about the 1st of December, and you'll find out why that happened, trying to sort out this, and they're thinking, oh, there's a gate there now, it's all good. You know, they may breach even Dean Hunter's privacy by supplying other people that aren't involved communications between Auckland Transport and Dean Hunter, but that's another matter perhaps for Dean to bring up with Auckland Transport. Who knows? I mean, obviously John's got eyes, and it's not exactly something secret they shared, a photograph of Dean pacifying the council saying, oh look, I've got a gate. But none of this solves the issue of them still being able to drive out onto the footpath on Green Lane East and endanger public safety by driving on the damn sidewalk. Who gives a fuck what they're doing with their fence and their gate on Great South Road? The danger is still there. They still have the ability, and I lay a bet will do it. And I might just go back and catch them at it again, because apparently Auckland Transport judge evidence quite strongly. Even though I've uploaded 3 videos now showing in at least 3 separate occasions where they've used that driveway, once almost trying to fucking hit John on the sidewalk. But that's not enough. They just say, oh, contact the police. I did. I forwarded the video of Dean Hunter trying to hit John on the sidewalk to the police, and they did fuck all. You know, because at the moment, John actually still has allegations against him because of certain people, shall remain nameless, making false allegations with the police, making false statements with the police, and trying to get him in the shit. So, of course, whenever John tries to ring up the police and complain about illegal activity, moving vehicle violations, they just come around and lock John up again. That's the mentality of it. Contact the police. Why? Because Sally Woods has stuck her head in the sand and said, oh, don't contact me anymore. That's ridiculous. You're a public official. If someone needs to contact you about something, especially when you have prior knowledge of it, you should be contactable, Sally. There's been nothing offensive said to you other than the incompetence that you're displaying and the rest of them. But, you know, as far as the low-level ones like Ellie McKenzie or Vincent Nahi, you know, they're just they're the brown coats, and no offence in that term, but they're just doing their job, all right? But it's the upper-level ones that absolutely blow my mind. All right, so after I released, and I'm sorry for babbling on here, but people really need to grasp the whole issue. Now, on the 1st of December, like I said, I then posted the update of the 28th of November, and then one day later, on the 2nd of December, because I had to shoot down to Timaru for 5 days with my wife and son to spread my sister's ashes, I went down to Timaru, drove down, left very early on the 5th on the morning, caught the ferry, was over there on Friday to spread the ashes, on Saturday to spread the ashes for my sister, had to go around and visit me mum, and then I was back up here by the 9th. Hellish drive, guys. So it's like a day's worth of driving and straight going down there, 22 hours from where I am to where my sister used to live and where my brother-in-law and nieces and nephews all are now. So anyway, 2nd of December, I released the public safety issue one, saying that the council and the police are ignoring. That video, where I include me and John on John's property, showing and pointing out the gate that was there.
That's the fence he put up there.
Yeah.
Now, that's his driveway there.
So he put this fence up, not Armstrong's?
Well, yes, well, he was there the day it went up,
yep.
And it was the same day as this office here went in.
Right.
That's never been there, that fence.
Yeah.
That's his driveway into that driveway.
Yeah. Clearly he could just have an opening gate there to allow cars to come in and out and leave that alone.
In theory, that makes, by him putting that fence up, that every single one of these vehicles is unlawfully in there.
That video I actually filmed back in July, August, I believe, some 6 months later. John didn't want me to release it because he didn't want more problems from the police. Even though he'd done absolutely nothing wrong, he was in fear of getting locked up again, all right, because of this guy's lies. So we released that. And then what John did on the 1st of December is he forwarded that email, or that, because I sent him a link to the latest video, and then he then forwarded that, and this is the video that has my little meeting with Sally Woods way back, I think 2014 or 2017, when I had a meeting with her. She got all offended because she was being recorded.
Cool.
Oh, hi.
Hi.
Hi, Sally Woods.
Sally, hi. And does the policy override the law?
Yes, it does. You sat here, you filmed me, which I'm not entirely happy with, but whatever.
You're in a public capacity.
Yeah. But it's rude. It's really rude.
How is it rude?
Because it's just...
Are you trying to hide something? Is there something you're...
No, I'm not.
Then what's the issue with being filmed? You're filmed all day by your security cameras, so are they rude?
So, no, I think you coming to a meeting and filming me without my permission.
I have the right to record anything with any public official.
No,
I do.
You need to ask permission first.
I don't have to ask permission. I have the right to take free and independent recording of any interaction.
I think we're going to continue to disagree.
Because Sally, from my perception, just my opinion here, but Sally doesn't like transparency, and she considers people filming her in her public-facing role to be rude, I believe it was she called me, because I wanted to keep an accurate record of what happened. I've been doing this for a long time. Sally and the rest of you should grasp that. Okay? So anyway, that was the chronological order of what happened with these videos. One video, the third one I released, but the first one I recorded was back in July, August, when I found out what had happened with John in June, you know, the attempted running over. And then there was the 31st of October and then the 28th of November that I went there and did the updates. So 31st of October, caught the son red-handed, forwarding, reversing, backwards all along the sidewalk, which the council clearly don't consider evidence enough that they're using that illegal exit or entrance to then go to the court, request an order under 353C and force the landlord. And let's not forget, Auckland Transport and the council have been sending letters to Boulevard Motors, the tenant. They mistakenly contacted the tenant instead of actually contacting the landlord. And again, you'll see all this in the email chain I'm about to release and show you all. I'm also going to contact all of these people, asking them for their responses. They can respond or not. No matter what they respond, I will show you flat out what they've said. So they best think carefully if they do want to respond. Or if they don't want to respond, it will just show what they feel about public scrutiny and transparency and accountability for their actions, or in their case, public safety is still at risk, Jack Tan. Isn't that your primary concern according to your emails? If public safety really is, why aren't you going ahead and either working cooperatively with Dean Hunter and the landlord, you know, and I'll play his little recording that we had another colleague ring him up and ask him a few questions about.
Yeah, it is.
Paul, I own the property on Great South Road.
Hey, great, you got my message then.
Yeah.
Yeah, so a little bit of drama around this property and access to the car yard, and some members of the council are now involved and so forth. I'm just wondering what your position on it was.
Well, I haven't got one because I don't know what it's about.
You're not aware of the dispute, or?
Well, I know that the guy who owns the car yard is annoyed with the tenant of the car yard, but that's really nothing to do with me as the owner.
Right.
I presume that's what you're talking about.
Say again?
Well, I presume that's what you're talking about.
Yeah, exactly what I'm talking about, yeah.
Yeah, so what is the actual dispute?
Well, the dispute is around access to this property that, so people who are trying to access the property, the owner included the parking their cars on the footpath, you see. So the council's been contacted about it, and so I'm just sort of, you as the owner of the property, I just wondered what you told this guy about what access he had to the property.
No, I just didn't say he could park on the footpath, obviously.
Yeah, well that's what's happening. So when people come to visit the yard, they park on the footpath. He parks on the footpath.
Oh, I see. Yeah,
It's a busy road, obviously, right opposite the McDonald's and everything, as you well know, being the owner of the place. So
I know there's been a lot of arguments between John, the next door neighbour, and my tenant.
Yeah. So I just wondered. I suppose I was just wondering whether responsibility sort of fell on your part to sort of tell this guy that, well, you can't actually access the property this way, and then
Well,
you're going to.
He knows that. You know, you can't. It's nothing to do with me. I mean, I've told him he can't use other people's properties, but I can't stop him. I'm not standing there all day to stop him.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Yeah.
And to be honest, I mean, I didn't know people were parking there. I thought that he had occasionally used them.
Yeah.
But I will go and see him, not today, but tomorrow.
All right. Cool.
Let's try to get
Okay.
that side of the story. Yeah.
Oh.
I do know that guy John, who was doing all the complaining, fights with all his neighbours.
Right. Okay.
But you know, he isn't right. We can't be using
Yeah.
his driveway.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyway, I'll go and have a chat to him tomorrow. He's a good guy.
Cool. Thanks very much. Hey, thanks for that.
Okay. No
Cheers.
problem.
Bye.
See you. Bye.
He knew nothing about it. Why? Because Auckland Transport and the council fucked up and didn't, excuse my teeth from rattling, fucked up and didn't contact him. He knew nothing about it when he was contacted. Why? Because Auckland Transport and Auckland Council fucked up. They should have contacted him, but they contacted Dean Hunter, who, of course, stuck his head in the sand and just kept committing fucking offences. What does he care? It's easy enough just to drive out the sidewalk. So what if someone's walking by? He'll just speed up, as according to fucking the video on the 12th of June from 2025, where I show you him fucking screaming along there, and John had to step aside to get out of the road. Anyway, after I saw that on the 31st of October when I went round and caught the sun doing it, I then filed my own complaint. Now remember, John's had a complaint going for almost 2 years now, so I thought, okay, more the merrier. I'm going to file a complaint because what I saw firsthand was unlawful. They're, again, putting public in danger and using an illegal entrance and exit. I don't give a fuck if it's a moving vehicle violation. They're also using an illegal exit. So council, you've got jurisdiction according to your correspondence. Do something about it, because him placating you all and putting a stupid little sized gate or in the back of their rear landlocking fence of their only entrance. That's right, Jack, their only entrance, not their rear entrance. I mean, you can see the mentality of these people and you're going to be shocked. I'll show you the emails. Granted, I might be overreacting and being a little emotional and passionate about it. So be it. Someone's got to fucking be, you know, and quite frankly, I've had enough to deal with for the last 14, 15 months with dad dying, mum in a home, sister dying, 5 or 6 fucking trips back and forwards to Timaru. I mean, I've had a lot to deal with, and I'm still trying to keep myself sane by putting myself back to this stuff. All right? So, you know, anyone else would probably fold under this sort of bullshit. So, first off, as far as my complaint was concerned, where I sent them the video of the young son of Dean Hunter driving out onto the footpath on the 31st of October, they, of course, just did the complete standard thing and passed the buck. Okay, so what they responded to, and I'll show you each of these emails, AT's response to my complaint that I made, and this is from them on, where are we here? This is from them on, where are we? November the 22nd, so it took them 3 weeks to get back to my complaint, which I filed, I believe, was around the 1st of November or 31st of October. Whenever I got home, I went straight on and made a complaint. I made the video, uploaded it to YouTube, and with my complaint, I supplied them the YouTube link. And anyway, this is what my complaint to them. On the 31st of October, I was gathering content from my social media content when I observed the son of a Mr. Hunter, owner of Boulevard Motors located at 154 Green Lane East, illegally drive out onto the sidewalk, then reverse 50 metres along the sidewalk, and then exit onto Green Lane East from a neighbouring driveway, which is an offence under Section 213 of the Land Transport Road User Rules, 2004. I put 2003 because I'm trying to make it so they understand, because they're the ones getting it wrong. I was also supplied a letter from Auckland Council dated the 10th of June 2025, and this is one of the letters that they sent John. With their case reference regarding the business, stating a complaint regarding this illegal activity from December 2024. So there you go. 2024 they had complaints. We're now at the end of 2025, which clearly is being ignored by the owner of Boulevard Motors. As nearly 12 months on, he and his son are still ignoring. I have included this information in a video now publicly viewable here, and I supplied a link on YouTube. Why have the council not done anything to enforce Boulevard Motors not committing this offence? In the span of less than 1 hour, I witnessed Mr. Hunter and his son commit this offence 3 times. I only caught it on video once. Before I caught the son coming out, I also caught him and his son in like a fucking convoy coming out at once doing it. So I actually witnessed it 3 times on 31st of October. I also note that the permanent fence blocking his legal egress and ingress onto his property is still there. So he literally is landlocked, and any vehicle being moved on or off his property will continue to be done illegally. Is the safety of the general public not one of Auckland's most on one of Auckland's most busiest intersections not a concern? Give us an idea of the solution you want to see, was their question in my complaint filing. Prosecute Mr. Hunter for continuing to daily commit offences against the LTRU rules 2003 and his son, and act to enforce your letter from June, or will it take someone being injured or worse before the council acts? Now remember, council, it's all out in the public. You haven't got plausible deniability in case someone does get hurt or worse due to your inactions. Or will it take someone to be injured or worse before the council acts? I also have footage of Mr. Hunter attempting to run a gentleman over, that gentleman being John, while speeding along the sidewalk while entering his illegal entrance. This footage has been supplied to police, and that was from the 12th of June 2005, around 2:34 and 20 seconds in the afternoon, if you want to be precise. And this was their lovely response on the 21st of November. Kia ora, Mark. Well, fuck me. How politically correct of you. Ka pai. Thanks for getting in touch with Auckland Transport regarding vehicles driving and reversing on the footpath. The incidents you described are breaches of the road user rules and a safety risk. Well, I'm glad you acknowledged that, Auckland Council, or Auckland Transport, should I say at this point. Please continue to report this directly to New Zealand Police with your details. Already did that. Guess what happened? Nothing. All right? Absolutely sweet fuck all. Why? Because the police are busy abusing the police national computer for their own fucking gains at the moment. I don't know. Perhaps there's nightsticks being used in fucking whorehouses. Excuse the irony there. But who knows? You know, are they doing other things that are more important? I do see them screaming to and fro with their fucking lights on whenever there's a donut sale on. Perhaps that's what they're busy doing. Wouldn't have a clue. Don't have a lot of faith in them. Moving forward. Thanks for once again getting in touch, Mark. Oh, really? Once again? Really? I contacted them once. So they remember me from all the other times. It's nice to be noted. Kind of feel chuffed about that one. Anyway, that was their response. Now let's get into the email chain from Johnny. And I'd like to say a special call out first to Kyle Church of Customer Liaisons at Auckland Transport. Then we've got Ellie McKenzie. She's actually a lovely girl. Nothing bad to say about her from AT. She's just doing her job. Vincent Nahi from Auckland Council. Not much to say about him at the moment. Sally Woods. Wow, Sally. What can I say? I don't know. We've got Jack Tan from Auckland Council. I guess that means he wipes the stall. Wouldn't have a clue. And we've got Jade Sutherland from Auckland Council, who's also some assistant or some. Right, so now that you've seen that absolutely riveting information, on the 11th of July, all right, we'll start off with the 11th of July, 2005, or 2025. So, where are we here? 11th of July, we have from Kyle, this will be Kyle Church. On the 11th of July, we have, we've now reviewed the details of your case. There is no further information that we provide to you about the alleged use of the footpath as a temporary vehicle crossing. We have provided details as the circumstances have changed, but there is no further action that AT will take at this time. Good on you, AT, for doing sweet fuck all. As vehicle crossings have been applied for this property, which they also say in letters, fat chance of that getting approved because it's too close to a major intersection, but it's a good stalling tactic, isn't it? As we've consistently communicated, AT is not the responsible party when it comes to illegal driving. In other words, passing the buck to police. Well, perhaps that illegal driving wouldn't occur if you used your jurisdiction along with Auckland Council and got their fucking permanent fence put across Green Lane, but just spitballing. When it comes to illegal driving, we have attempted to deal with illegal parking when it occurs, because they only deal with stationary vehicle offences. But the operation of a motor vehicle is a matter for New Zealand Police. You must contact and liaise with them if you wish to pursue that matter further. Why would he call the police when all they're going to do is come around and lock him up? I mean, that's what they do. John and the police have a somewhat love-hate relationship as far as that's concerned. He's half the time doesn't want to contact the police because he doesn't want the risk of being locked up again when he's only reporting an offence of someone else committing. But that's the way the police act towards him at the moment, because he's on bail conditions for allegations that he's not even been found guilty of, which we have video evidence of, and doesn't show him committing. But this is what happens. Someone will make a false allegation and the police get used as bullies against the one person that's actually trying to do something good and bring for the public safety a matter of it to their attention. But no, this is how twisted and fucked up the justice and police and everything else is. Government's fucked this country, you know. Whatever happened to us being self-fucking governing? But no, pretty soon I'm expecting a letter from the government saying, these are the hours I'm allowed to wipe my ass. It's getting to that point. We will not be responding further to your questions. We have already answered multiple times. Not me, he, Kyle. That would be Kyle Church. Because they don't like to give their last names, even though it's not exactly fucking difficult to figure out. Especially when you get supplied fucking internal correspondence between people. Love it. Okay, so that was, you know, Kyle responding way back in July 11th, 2025. Then we move on to Ellie McKenzie. All right, now on the 1st of December, what John did was he contacted Ellie McKenzie and he sent her a link of the video that I released on the 31st, that I filmed on the 31st of October and released on the 1st of December. He sent her that one. All right. What happened is then Ellie McKenzie contacted Kyle Church at AT and in regards to, they can't even get the address right, 150, no, it's 152 to 154 or 154 to 156 Green Lane East, 150, no, it's not that property, but moving on. Hi Kyle and Phil, that would be Phil Watt of Auckland Transport. The gate is finally in. Dean has provided me with the below photographs and the opening is 2.4 metres wide. I'll be checking that. I asked Dean about the vehicles parked in the photograph and he mentioned that he and Armstrong have great relationship. They will move the vehicles to let him out and he said it's working well and said that it's more pleasant using the driveway. What a bunch of bullshit. Dean, take your tongue out of her ass, Dean. That's just shocking. What bullshit. But moving on. So there's Ellie. Of course, these emails were all sent to John, so great job on the Privacy Act there, guys, and the Local Government Act and all the rest. Not that you're sharing, you know, Dean from Boulevard Motors fucking photographs with a third party that wasn't involved in communications, but great job. Moving on. Of course, you can see that on the larger, on the zoomed out one, that's both photos that they've sent to show you. Isn't that lovely? All right. Now, you may recall on the second video that I released, the update video, I show you putting the gate in. Okay. So, and that was filmed only a few days before I left to go down south for my sister's ashes. So, yeah, moving on. Then on, okay, we've got the 2nd of December. John contacts Vincent Nahi of Auckland Council and sends him a link to that update video. All right, that's the one I uploaded on the 1st or 2nd of December. So John was pretty quick, sent it straight off to Auckland Council to let them know an update. Look, there's a fence. Then, of course, what happened is, I think I've got my notes here somewhere, Vincent, on the 3rd of December, then forwarded that to Sally, because, of course, it had something to do with Sally in it. All right? Then Sally, of course, on the 3rd of December, then on the 4th of December, Sally Woods then emails that to Jack Tan, who's an actual board member on the Auckland Council for Mount Albert, whatnot area, okay? And Jack Tan, and Sally sends that to Jack with an FYI, so Jack's, you know, he's CC'd into what's going on. Glad they all like my videos. Thanks very much for watching. Moving onward. Then, of course, we have from Jack Tan to Sally Woods with this exchange. Hi, Sally. Thanks for sending through the last few details and your time to talk through what has happened thus far and what can possibly happen in the near future. Can we please get a timeline together? Now, this is on the 4th of December. Can we please get a timeline together from Council and AT as to whether the letter can be issued to the landlord with set deadlines of the 1st of February 2026 with non-compliance remediation to the problem by the end of February? The biggest concern, really, Jack, the biggest concern has always been safety of pedestrian commuters. Then why have you done fucking nothing to fix it? Locals and school children walking by all day. While I accept driving down the footpath is a police matter, we are not getting much movement here. Gee, I wonder why. AT have the jurisdiction of safety on the footpath. So there you go. That's what Jack's telling us, the board member. AT has the jurisdiction of safety on the footpath. and given the letter may have been wrongfully issued to the tenant, may have been, no it fucking was, because it's addressed to Boulevard Motors. It's not addressed to the landlord. I might even break this video up into 2 parts. So, in fact, let's end it here on the email on the 4th of December from Jack Tan to Sally Woods. And I'll now break this off and we'll make it a part 2. Okay? See you in part 2, people.
I look forward to catching up with you next time. All the best.